Right now, the desire you're clutching so tightly is the very thing pushing it away. What if the moment you stop trying to manifest is the exact instant manifestation starts? You've memorized every lecture, built your scene with cinematic precision, whispered, "Thank you, Father," until the words lost all flavor. You lie in the dark sculpting feelings like clay chasing goosebumps as if they were receipts from God. And still the phone stays silent, the bank balance shrinks, the same face stares back from the mirror. The tighter you grip, the faster the vision slips between your fingers, like water that refuses to be cupped. Somewhere inside, a small voice is screaming that if you just imagine harder, just push one more ounce of emotion into the picture, then the universe will finally take the hint. But let me whisper the truth that voice fears most. Your desire is not late. It is not being withheld. It is standing so close that your frantic searching keeps bumping into it and calling the collision absence. The very act of trying to feel it real is the invisible wall that prevents reality from feeling you. Imagine you are holding a live bird in your hands. The more you squeeze to keep it, the more frantic its wings beat against your palms. Only when you unfold your fingers and create space does the bird settle, preen its feathers, and decide to stay. Your scene is that bird. Your scene is not a memory you manufacture. It is a memory that already happened on a timeline you visit in sleep, in daydreams, in the hush between thoughts. The moment you stop arguing with it, it reveals itself as the air you're already breathing. The reset no one mentions. Exhale right now, as if you are blowing out the last candle of effort. Let the jaw unclench, the shoulders sink 2 inches, the belly soften like warm honey. Feel the subtle vacuum that opens in the chest, not emptiness, but spaciousness. A quiet warmth rises up the spine, your eyes soften, and for no external reason the corners of your mouth lift. That sensation is not the herald of your manifestation arriving. It is the manifestation already arrived, wearing the costume of relief. Carry this softness through the next 24 hours as your only technique. Let conversations, traffic lights, and the reflection in shop windows remind you, I have laid the desire down, and reality is at last free to pick it up. Right now, the desire you're clutching so tightly is the very thing pushing it away. What if the moment you stop trying to manifest is the exact instant manifestation starts? I know the ache. 3 a.m., stillness, phone screen glowing with another scene you've built brick by brick. The hallway light, their footsteps, the exact shade of the apology. You rehearse until your chest burns, convinced that if you can sharpen the edges, reality will finally duplicate the picture. But every morning the inbox is empty, and the familiar question claws up your throat. Did I feel it real enough? Let me whisper something I wish someone had murmured to me when my knees were raw from begging the invisible. Your desire is not a homework assignment for the universe to grade. It is a love letter already stamped and delivered. The frantic addition of more glitter, more detail, more emotion only covers the ink that was already perfect. Imagine a lake so still it reflects the entire sky. Drop a single pebble and the picture shatters into rings. The pebble is your insistence that the scene must be felt harder. The rings are the hours you spend doubting, checking, strategizing. Neville never said, manufacture a feeling. He said, remain faithful to the state. Faith is not a production. It is a quiet knowing that the mail is already in the box. The relief you've been chasing is not the product of a successful visualization. It is the sound of water smoothing itself after you finally stop throwing stones. Feel the tension in your jaw right now. That clench is the lie that says, if I relax, it won't come. Exhale with me. Let the back teeth separate by a millimeter. Notice how the tongue falls from the roof of the mouth like a white flag. Those tiny muscles were the final soldiers guarding a gate that was never locked. When they surrender, warmth floods the cheeks, the eyes soften, and suddenly the room you're sitting in feels inexplicably kind, as if the furniture remembers you from a sweeter dream. That sensation isn't the sign of manifestation coming. It is the manifestation already arrived. I once coached a woman who had spent 18 months scripting daily conversations with a lover who had vanished. She carried color-coded notebooks like armor. One afternoon, I asked her to sit beside me on a park bench and simply describe the clouds. No agenda. 10 minutes later, she started crying, not from frustration, but from the gentle absurdity of the sky's effortless beauty. In that ordinary moment, she tasted the same spaciousness her scripted dialogues had been gasping toward. 2 days later, the text arrived. She hadn't added a single visualization. She had merely stepped out of the way so the finished scene could pick her up like a limousine that had been idling around the corner. Your nightly scene does not need louder music or brighter lights. It needs the hush that follows when the orchestra realizes the symphony ended 3 measures ago. Let the silence be your standing ovation. Carry that hush into the grocery line, the traffic light, the email you're tempted to rewrite for the 7th time. The softness you now feel in your shoulders is the only GPS you need. Follow it as a bloodhound follows a scent without asking why the trail bends. Tonight, when the old urge rises to grab the desire by the throat and shake it into a peering smile, place one hand on your heart and say, "I already said yes." Then do nothing else, because nothing else is required. Right now, the desire you're clutching so tightly is the very thing pushing it away. What if the moment you stop trying to manifest is the exact instant manifestation starts? You have rehearsed the scene until the colors faded. You have whispered the affirmation until language lost meaning. You have lain in SATs until the body ached more than the heart. And still the text does not arrive, the money does not appear, and the door remains a door instead of the portal you scripted. The tension in your chest is not failure, it is the final clue. Consider the quantum field as an ocean that already contains every version of every outcome. Each possibility is a complete island under the surface, fully formed, awaiting the beam of your attention to rise it into view. But your attention is not a laser. Right now it is a closed fist, knuckles white, gripping the one island you insist must surface. The tighter you squeeze, the more water you displace, and the island sinks again untouched. The field feels the push and mirrors it as absence. Imagine you are in a darkened cinema. On the screen is the exact scene you desire, laughing with your beloved, signing the contract, holding the keys. Yet you have left your seat, walked to the screen, and are now pressing your palms against the cold cloth, begging the image to become solid. The movie continues behind you, but you refuse to turn around and watch from the chair that was always yours. The strain in your arms is not dedication. It is the evidence you have forgotten where reality actually plays. Neville's gentle rebellion was never, "Feel it real." As a manufacturer mood, he whispered, "Let reality feel you." The feeling he spoke of is not the joy you generate. It is the relief that washes through when you finally drop the requirement to generate anything. The moment the fist opens, the ocean calms, and the island rises under its own buoyancy. Your only labor is to notice the difference between clutching and allowing. So breathe out as if this one exhale could empty the entire past. Let the jaw soften, feel the tongue widen inside the mouth. Allow the shoulders to slide down the back like silk falling from a hanger. In those 18 seconds, you will sense a subtle vacuum open behind the breastbone. It is not emptiness. It is the precise shape of the fulfilled desire that has always fit there. The warmth that follows is not the sign that your scene is coming. It is the scene announcing it never left. Carry this softness through the next 24 hours as your only technique. When the mind asks, "Is it working?" smile the way you would at a child who has just been told the sun is already up while they are still searching for the switch. The body now knows the signature of genuine surrender: a quiet mouth, relaxed eyes, a heart beating without agenda. From this posture, you will find yourself picking up the phone before it buzzes, walking past the cafe at the exact moment they are handing your friend the job offer, receiving the apology you never rehearsed. You were never the magician. You were the stage on which magic insisted on performing. Step back into the audience. The show has already begun. You've circled the same scene like a moth around a flame that refuses to burn. The chair is always the same. The room dimmed exactly as Neville said, yet the feeling you chase keeps ducking around the corner just when you think you've caught it. You lie back, script the miracle, press play on the inner movie, then spend the next 14 hours refreshing the screen for evidence. Sound familiar? Somewhere between the second replay and the third reality check, a quiet panic slithers in. Maybe I didn't feel it deeply enough. Maybe I missed a detail. Maybe I'm not worthy. So you tighten the grip, add an extra affirmation, lengthen the scene to IMAX length, anything to force the sensation. The body stays rigid, breath high in the chest, jaw locked like a vault door. The desire becomes a taskmaster, not a lover. Scroll through any forum, and you'll see the same confession dressed in different fonts. I've done SATs for 80 nights straight. Nothing moved. I scripted. I lived in the end. I thanked my desire as if it were already mine. Still silence. I even deleted social media, so the 3D couldn't argue with me. Now the 3D just argues louder in my head. Each message carries the same metallic taste, exhaustion seasoned with shame. We are good students who somehow failed the open book test. Here's the invisible mistake. You turn the feeling of the wish fulfilled into a performance, and performances demand applause. So you stand on the stage of your own skull, delivering lines to an audience of one, waiting for the inner critic to clap. When no one claps, you assume the scene was weak, not the audience. But the scene can never be louder than the tension of needing proof. Meanwhile, the real event is already tucked inside you like a seed beneath winter soil. It doesn't need more heat, it needs the frost to break. Every clenched muscle is another layer of ice. Every anxious, is it working? Is a shiver that keeps the ground frozen. You are not failing to manifest. You are succeeding at insulating the miracle from the only climate in which it can sprout, unguarded stillness. So tonight, instead of wrapping the gift, unwrap yourself. Let the shoulders drop 2 inches. Let the next exhale last 1 second longer than the last. Feel the tiny, terrifying vacuum that opens when you finally admit, I don't know how to do this anymore. That vacuum isn't emptiness. It's the womb of creation, already full, waiting for you to stop cluttering it with effort. Right now, the desire you're clutching so tightly is the very thing pushing it away. What if the moment you stop trying to manifest is the exact instant manifestation starts? I see you nights spent sculpting perfect scenes, shoulders aching from the effort to feel it real, heart racing when the phone stays silent. You whisper, I've done everything, why am I still here? And the ache deepens, because the more you chase the feeling, the further it runs. Listen, Neville never said, manufacture joy. He said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Those words point to a current already flowing beneath your panic, a warmth already installed in your chest, waiting for the noise to cease. Imagine a child gripping a soap bubble. The tighter the fist, the sooner it pops. Open the hand, there it rests, whole and iridescent. Your desire is that bubble. Your gripping is the belief that you must earn what is already yours. Doubt storms in. Maybe I'm not visualizing vividly enough. Maybe I missed a sign. Screens glow with empty inboxes. Hope frays into exhaustion. In that raw hush, lean closer. What if your scene has already happened outside of time, and your only job is to stop arguing with it? Let's do it together now. Exhale through the mouth like fogging a winter window. Feel the jaw unclench, tongue soft. Let the shoulders slide down the back as if slipping off a heavy coat. Notice the hollow that opens behind your ribs. That is the vacuum where presence rushes in. Stay here 18 seconds. Count them like heartbeats. There, a gentle heat spreading across the sternum, eyes moistening, a small smile you didn't rehearse. That sensation is not evidence that the manifestation is coming. It is the manifestation already arrived, wearing the costume of relief. Carry this softness through the next 24 hours as your only technique. When you reach for the phone, pause, feel the shoulders again. When the mind spins stories of delay, return to the hollow behind the ribs. Let every action stem from that settled warmth, the way a river leaves a lake without wondering if it's on course. Tonight, instead of building scenes, lie in the dark and allow the day's residue to drain down through the heels. Speak once quietly. Thank you for already being. Then be still. Let reality feel you, bare, receptive, already home. Right now, the desire you're clutching so tightly is the very thing pushing it away. What if the moment you stop trying to manifest is the exact instant manifestation starts? You've rehearsed the scene, worn the ring, whispered the words, yet nothing moves. The inbox stays silent, and that ache behind the eyes is the giveaway. You're still holding it. Holding is the last veil. Listen. Neville never said, feel it real as a production cue. He said it as a confession. The feeling is already real. It arrives when you finally shrug off the need to summon it. You don't manufacture relief. You step out of its way and let it flood the vacuum your effort kept sealed. Try this for 18 seconds. Exhale through pursed lips as if fogging a mirror, slow, deliberate, audible. On the way out, silently drop the sentence it already is. Feel the shoulders drop half an inch, the tongue relax from the roof of the mouth, the belly soften. There. That pause right after the breath, that 0 point, is where reality slips in and reads its own lines. You may notice warmth in the palms or a sudden moisture behind the eyes. That's not evidence that the scene is coming. That is the scene. The body, not the mind, just confirmed it. Memorize that signature. It feels like forgetting to worry. Now walk to the kitchen. While the kettle boils, keep the back of the neck loose. Let the steam curl around the face. Instead of scripting a text from your SB, notice how the room already fits the moment after they've returned. The spoon clinks exactly the way it clinks when love is present. That subtle rightness is the only technique you need today. Lunch break. Step outside. Feel the pavement under the shoe and realize it's the same pavement that existed when the deal was signed. The breeze brushing the forearm is the identical breeze that greeted the new salary hitting the account. Nothing changed out there. The shift was in the permission you gave the body to stop arguing. Tonight, when you brush your teeth, catch the reflection in the mirror. Don't affirm, don't visualize, just soften the eyes until the reflection smiles first. Hold that gentleness for 1 full second longer than feels safe. Sleep carries that softness forward and rearranges the props while the mind is off duty. Carry this softness through the next 24 hours as your only technique.